It's a new day and new money to be made. Welcome to the channel. My name's CJ Curry. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a few different NBA player prop options on today's NBA slate. So if you're new here and you've never subscribed before, hit the subscribe button. I'm doing all the deep dive and the researching for you and hopefully providing you with some winning picks. We went 2-1 on yesterday's video. Let's see if we can have more winning picks than losing picks in today's video once again. Appreciate all the love and support. Now, as you might know or may not know, everybody who's been watching these videos here recently, we've been giving away a free month of Dub Club. Dub Club is basically a community that I've built in conjunction with Discord, where we share our favorite picks, plays, and parlays. So if you like what I do in these videos and you want even more picks and stuff from me, well, I provide that within our Dub Club community. It's a VIP group. For as little as 67 cents per day, you can be a part of our Dub Club group that we've got going on. But I've been picking people from the comment section each and every day, people who have subscribed, hit the like button, and commented their favorite player prop of the day. And every video, I've selected somebody who's left a comment with a winning player prop. And I've got that person lined up today. So let's go ahead and choose our winner from yesterday's video. It's going to be this person right here, 30 RROBI, 30 Robbie. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Anyway, he was liking some Kristaps Porzingis over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And once Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum got ruled out, became pretty smooth sailing here for Kristaps to go well over 26.5 PRA, and he did just that. So congratulations to you, sir. All you need to do now is go down to the description of today's video, join our free Discord. Once you are in our Discord group, send me a DM, a direct message, and then I will get you set up for a free month of Dub Club. So you'll get all my picks, all my plays, all my parlays, and you'll be a member of our VIP community for at least 1 month. And hopefully you stick around for even longer than that. So congratulations to 30 RROBI. Hopefully, like I said, I got your name right. Anyway, let's move on to today's picks. Of course, you know my site of choice is going to be PrizePicks because they allow you to miss a pick in your entry and still profit. Not many sports books, not many apps give you that type of flexibility. So if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, you can use promo code CJ Curry, make your first deposit, and whether you win or lose on that first entry, they're going to give you $50 back anyways. So definitely take advantage of that if you're not already on PrizePicks. And to my knowledge, they're still running a free college basketball square. So definitely more incentive, more reason why you should be over on PrizePicks. So let's get into today's picks. This first guy I'm looking at is going to be Naz Reid of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. This will probably be a lopsided game. New Orleans, not very competitive here lately. New Orleans, not a team that's looking to win many basketball games. Trey Murphy got hurt the other night. Obviously, they've already lost DeJounte Murray for the season. Zion's kind of in and out of the lineup. They're kind of load managing him low key. And then CJ McCollum is, I don't know, he's wishy-washy. Anyways, their season's pretty much over. Let's be honest. But I'm looking at Naz Reid for a little bit of a bounce back game here against New Orleans at more than 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Another one that stood out to me was just his rebounds over 5.5 boards. So you could take either one of these. Obviously, you can't take them together, but you could pick one or the other or run both in two separate entries if you choose. But let's go take a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Again, if you've been here before, you guys know that everything I do is data-driven. We're looking at sportsbook data. We're looking at player projection models, various player projection models across the industry. And so we use all these different data points to help make our decisions. We don't just guess blindly at anything. So hopefully you guys appreciate all the data and the research that goes into these picks. But Naz Reid over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists is the most optimal play right now based on the odds, the way that the juice is loose on this player prop. You're seeing some sites like Pinnacle, which is considered the sharpest sportsbook out there, listing Naz Reid at 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And so PrizePicks is coming in a little soft, a little low on his line at just 20.5. BetMGM, Caesars, they've all set his line at 21.5 as well. So definitely an advantage for us. Now you could also take the rebounds, as I mentioned before, 5.5 boards, about a 53.5% chance that he goes over that, and a lot of money coming in on the over at 5.5 rebounds as well. So you may see a guy like Rudy Gobert, who's just working his way back from injury, play a little bit less minutes tonight, especially if this does turn into a blowout. Maybe Naz Reid finds himself out on the court a little bit more than he normally would otherwise, but both of these looking like solid over options, at least in terms of the way that the money's coming in on them. So now we turn things over to the player projections. And if you look at Naz Reid, once again, this is RotoWire. They've built out a really fantastic player prop projection tool. Not only does it give you projections, but it also gives you some hit rates. It also lets you see some of that sportsbook data where they compare PrizePicks lines to various sports books and other DFS pick'em style apps. But yeah, a lot of lean mores today on Naz Reid, whether it be the PRA or the rebounds, both of these looking like really solid options. Of course, you've got other options in play as well, like the rebounds and assists, or the points and rebounds, or just the points on their own at 12.5. But for the sake of this video, we're looking at the points, rebounds, and assists. But if this gets bumped, feel free to pivot over to one of those other categories. Don't be scared. You know, sometimes you got to make little adjustments and call an audible because PrizePicks is always moving their lines. And I wouldn't be surprised if this line got moved as well. If you take a look at Naz Reid here, he has been doing pretty well for the most part, especially over the last call it 15 to 20 games or so, but he's averaging around 23 points, rebounds, and assists per game. He had 25 PRA against the Indiana Pacers. Previous 3 games, he had struggled a little bit, but he's got some pretty decent numbers against the New Orleans Pelicans. The last time he played the Pels was back on January the 7th of this year, and 26 PRA is what he ended up hanging up on the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, if you go back to some of these previous games, he had 16 PRA, 25 PRA. So, 2 out of the last 3 meetings against the New Orleans Pelicans, he's put up over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, the rebounds are even sweeter. He's 3 for his last 3 head-to-head against New Orleans in terms of covering or clearing his rebound prop of 5.5. 6 boards, and 12 massive rebounds against New Orleans. Most recently. If you kind of take a look at the game logs for Naz Reid in terms of rebounds, well, he did have a down rebound game against Indiana with just 4 boards the last time they took the court, but this could be one of those situations where he bounces back after a down performance, unlike Damian Lillard yesterday, who did not bounce back in the assist category for us. He was the only pick that we missed in yesterday's video, unfortunately. But yeah, the projection's looking good here for Naz Reid as well. Projected for right around 7 rebounds. That's about a 1.5 rebound difference versus his line of 5.5. But if you guys know me, you know that I don't just rest on one player projection. I like to check multiple player projections. And in this case, we're going to slide on over here to the Fantasy Labs projections and take a look at Naz Reid there. He is projected for 6.5 rebounds, so very solid if you're thinking about taking the rebounds. If you want to take the points, rebounds, and assists, well, those are also projecting well, 23.6 on Fantasy Labs, so big projections for Naz Reid. You can see why these player projection models are taking the over for him. Sliding over to a different one, this is Roto Grinders and the Shot Quality Advanced Analytics. The PRA for Naz Reid is at 23 over there, and the rebounds are at 6.77, so things are looking up and up here, once again for Naz Reid. And one last projection, this site used to be called Numberfire. It's now known as FanDuel Research. It's still free, even though FanDuel acquired this site. And if you take a look at the projections that they have over there, they've got them projected for about 14.5 points, 5.7 rebounds, and another 2 assists, which puts him over the 20.5 PRA marker. 5.7 is the rebound projection, so a little bit more of a conservative projection for just the rebounds on their own, but nonetheless, still getting some nice projections for the over on Naz Reid. Wouldn't be surprised if either one of those got bumped up. Moving on to our next player prop, it's going to be Tobias Harris of the Detroit Pistons. Another guy that's looking good for the over on the 5.5 rebounds. Not only has he done a great job here recently, he's also done a great job against this team in head-to-head matchups, historically speaking. And of course, he's also projecting well and is a plus EV play, which is what we call a positive expected value play here in the sports betting world. But let's run Tobias Harris's name through the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Again, this tool's great because how else are you going to go out there and look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different sportsbook and DFS app sources all in one place, aggregated together for you in this one simple to use tool? I mean, how else are you going to do that? Nowhere else but the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. So definitely check it out. Again, there's a link down in the description for this tool. It's going to save you some money on your first month. I think it's, 25% off, something like that. So pretty nice savings. Shout out to Daily Grind for providing that discount to all the subscribers and members out there. But nonetheless, Tobias Harris, a little bit over a 53.5% chance that he grabs at least 6 rebounds today. Pinnacle has him as a -129 betting favorite to go over 5.5. FanDuel -130 betting favorite to go over 5.5. And Caesars has him as a -137 betting favorite to go over 5.5 rebounds. So a lot of juice coming in on the over for Tobias Harris. Hopefully he continues his dominance on the boards today against the Miami Heatians. Let's go take a look at some projections for Tobias Harris. If we go over here to RotoWire, a lot of love for Tobias Harris, kind of like Naz Reid. A lot of these projections are leaning more over on RotoWire, whether it be the rebounds, whether it be the points and rebounds, points and assists, points, rebounds, and assists. There's a lot of different ways to play Tobias Harris. So if this one gets bumped up from 5.5 rebounds to say 6 boards, I'd still take the over at 6. But if it goes all the way up to 6.5, I'd be a little bit more hesitant. I don't like full point bumps on my player props. That's just me personally. But let's take a look at the projections here for Tobias Harris. 6.82 projected rebounds. Even if we were to shave about 10% off of that projection, it still puts him closer to 6 boards than it does 5. And so we're comfortable here with this projection at 6.82. Plenty of margin between the projection and the PrizePicks line. But taking a look at where he's at here, he has now cleared the over on his rebounds in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games, 8 out of his last 9 games overall. So he's definitely been getting on the boards. He's definitely been clearing the 5.5 rebound number. And we take a look at the head-to-heads versus Miami. As I mentioned, the head-to-head matchups looking good. Historically, the last 4 times he's played the Miami Heat, he's racked up 7, 10, 10, and 7 rebounds. Now, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is for certain in the sports betting world. Just take a look at those Taco Tuesday discounts from last night. Cam Johnson, I'm looking at you. But yeah, he's done a really good job, has Tobias Harris, and he's projecting well today. What more can you ask for? Let's run some other projections, and we'll take a look at our third pick in just a moment. Tobias Harris is projecting for 6.2 rebounds, closer to 6 boards, then again 5 rebounds. And then over here on shot quality, we've got Tobias Harris sitting up at 6.5 boards, a whole rebound higher over there. And then, of course, we're going to go back to FanDuel research because I like to provide you guys with as many different points of data as possible so you can make an informed decision. That's what this video is all about. It's about collecting information and then making your own decisions. But 6.3 is the projected rebound here for Tobias Harris over on FanDuel research. So again, would not be surprised if this one gets bumped up to 6, which I'd be okay with. 6.5, I'd have to pump the brakes just a little bit. Let's see if this last guy is still up on the board. Jaylen Green. A lot of different ways that you could play Jaylen Green. He has been red hot. There's no mistaking that. But the unders are actually looking like the way to play some Jaylen Green. So let's look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. The one that I wanted to take was the under on the PRA at 32.5. But that one is now sitting at 31.5. So perhaps there is a pivot option for us. And it looks like there might be. If we look at the points plus rebounds, it's looking like the best way to go right now if you're looking to take a Jaylen Green under. Now, this one's going to be, I guess, controversial, maybe uncomfortable to some because of Jaylen Green's proficiency at going over lately, but this is a tough Orlando Magic team. This is a very low-scoring game. The total on this game is one of the lowest of the night. And so you can kind of see why some of these lines are starting to sink for Jaylen Green, why they're starting to bump them down. But the points plus rebounds, let's go with that one here at 27.5 PR. About a 52% chance that he stays under. FanDuel's got him at 26.5, as does DraftKings. And another site like Parlay Play has him at 26.5 PR. So this one will probably get bumped down to 27. Maybe even 26.5 PR before it's all said and done here. But let's run the projections on Jaylen Green now that we know that it is a positive expected value play. And when we run the projections on Jaylen Green, we're over here on RotoWire, of course. The projected PR for Jaylen Green is 27.25. Again, as I mentioned in all videos, whenever you see a projection, you want to take an extra 10% off of that projection. 10 to 20% in most cases. But That would put him around 27 or fewer points plus rebounds. Again, he's been really good here over the last 4 games, 36, 32, 34, and 37, but he's not going to continue to put those numbers up forever. And perhaps tonight is the night where he finally kind of comes back down to his season average, which is about 25.3 points plus rebounds. He's just been too hot to hold lately. He's got to come crashing down at some point. And this might be the game where he does just that. Taking a look at his away games, the last 3 games that he's played on the road have not been so fortuitous for him. 11 PR against New Orleans, 16 PR against Indiana, and 24 PR against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He did barely squeak over his 27.5 PR line against the Utah Jazz with 28, and then 27 PR against the Dallas Mavericks. So some of these matchups were really easy for Jaylen Green. He did not take advantage of them, but he has gone under in 4 out of his last 5 games on the road, and he's gone under in 6 out of his last 8 overall on the road. Now against Orlando, 0 for 3 in terms of going over. So that means he's 3 for 3 going under. We're thinking about taking the under, so that's something that we like to see. Only 11 PR, 19 PR, and 22 PR for Jaylen Green in the last 3 head-to-heads against the Orlando Magic. So we'll see if the Magic can slow Jaylen Green down tonight, keep him under 28 points plus rebounds. Let's run some other projections on Jaylen Green and get you on your way so you could go lock these picks in. If you want to lock these picks in. The projection for Jaylen Green over on Fantasy Labs, just 23.3. Again, his line is 27.5, my people. That is a huge differential. That is one that you should be betting 9 times out of 10. You should be taking the under on this. Whether you think Jaylen Green's really good or not, that doesn't matter. This is a huge gap in the projection versus the line. And you should be betting those types of opportunities when you get them. Jaylen Green's points plus rebounds over on shot quality are sitting out at 23.4 PR, putting him well under 27.5 once again. And of course, we're going to go back over here to the FanDuel research page. And if we pull Jaylen Green up over there, let's see what his projection is there. I don't think I've actually looked at this one yet, but let's see if it's under as well. Jaylen Green, 20.3 points, another 5.1 rebounds, which puts him at about 25.4 combined points plus rebounds, which, yes, does put him under 27.5 PR. So that would be a lean under option for me. Jaylen Green would be the 3rd pick of today's video. But here's the part of the video where I turn things over to you guys. Are you liking any of these picks, hating them? Let me know down in the comments section below what your favorite player prop of the day is. And if you've subscribed, if you've hit the like button, and you've left a winning pick down in the comment section below, I might choose you. You might be the next big winner for a free month of Dub Club. I appreciate all the love and support. Let's get those likes over 100 today. Catch you in the next video. Peace.